Kia ora. Good afternoon. Good morning. Oh God, what is it? Good afternoon. Sorry. Just a quick little ditty here to say that the Miss Amber School of Alchemy, Miss Amber's School of Alchemy, our version of Harry Potter now has a name, and it is called the first sign, the rebirth of the ninth element. I'm sitting here thinking that I would like to turn this into a book. I'd like to write a book. I'd like to turn the first sign, the rebirth of the ninth element, into a book and turn it into a movie. I don't think it would take me very long to write this book. It wasn't taking me very long to do Lucian's Dragon. But while I'm looking for talent and I'm out on the road, it's going to give me the opportunity to rewrite Lucian's Dragon the way it needs to be written, to write the screenplay for The Amber Rose, and to write the first sign, the rebirth of the ninth element. And the reason why I've called it that is the first sign in the zodiac is Aries, and Amber was in Aries. And Aries is the sign for the resurrection, which is why they have Halloween, which is why they have Easter in April. The resurrection, and the ninth element is the element of resurrection, which is, I find, the eighth element, and the eighth element is the one who brings life, gives birth to new worlds, gives birth to life, gives birth to creation. The ninth element is the resurrection. So it's perfect because Amber, and losing her, and with me pretending when I was 8 that she was my daughter, she was the first for me in so many things. And in losing her, she helped me birth so many things that are going to be put to good use at my foundation, at my school. She's the first sign. She's the Aries. They're the first sign in the zodiac. She was the first in my life to come along that made me know that I wanted to be a mother. She helped me birth my Halloween festivals. She helped me birth my fancy dress party. She was there with me through the first of so many things. She was my bridesmaid at my first wedding. She's going to be my first animated movie version of our version of a Disney princess. She's the first at the start of the movie. When the movie starts, she sacrifices herself to save the children when she comes up against a Bizu. She's the one who goes first, who births the school that the kids go to, where they discover the ninth element. So our version of the Harry Potter movie is going to be called The First Sign. I've looked it up. There's no other movie called The First Sign. So it's going to be called The First Sign, the rebirthing of the ninth element, because the ninth element is resurrection. Basically, all atoms rebirth. They resurrect. They come back in different forms, biologically speaking. So it's quite an occult title, but in sitting here thinking up this title over the last few days, I think I want to turn it into a book. I think it would make a brilliant book. So there we go. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm also getting ready. I'm getting nervous because I've got my shopping coming tomorrow, and I'm getting ready to make some sugarless protein bars. I've been taste testing the competition. to figure out how I'm going to do it, it's going to be like a blind baking test, which means I'm going to be baking this without a recipe. I was working on it before everything happened with my ex, but because I was jokingly saying that NASA could take them into space. So yeah, but they'll be part of my Supernaturally You range. Supernatural food range. And one of the things that I wanted to say about my food, which I think another reason why America, a lot of my products, not all, but I do have a range that are of like cakes and sweets and sweet treats and that are perfectly fine for diabetics to have. So if they eat my food, they'll not only lose weight naturally without even having to try, but they can still have sweets like cakes and cookies and that sort of thing without it affecting their sugar levels. And with my food, I cured myself of fibromyalgia. I cured myself of the Helicobacter pylori virus, which, there's no cure for it, but I cured myself from it. They tried to say that it's connected to dental health, but it's actually sugar. It's when your digestive system starts having an allergic reaction to sugar. And when you cut the sugar out of your diet, all the symptoms for the Helicobacter pylori virus, or bacteria, it is a virus, because it can be spread, like it is, I've had arguments with people saying it's not a virus, it's a bacteria, but bacteria spreads. Virus just means that, it can be passed around. But back in the day, it was when I was diagnosed with it, because they put a thing down my stomach and took a sample of my stomach. So the Helicobacter pylori virus, bacteria, whatever you want to call it, when you go off sugar, it gets rid of all the symptoms. And because sugar is, because they were saying, they think it's connected to your teeth, your dental hygiene and all of that. And I got it at the time when I was being starved and poisoned by my ex-husband. And you can take coconut oil and it masks the symptoms, but it doesn't remove the cure. It's not a cure, it just masks the symptoms. But to cure it, you just go off sugar. So I found a way of having sweet things that have no sugar in it, that I can still lose weight, and it cured my fibromyalgia, it cured my arthritis. I was born with a degenerative spinal disease, sciatica, and arthritis in my spine. And the only time I ever have any back issues is if I have something with sugar in it. Every now and then I like to be able to have chocolate peanuts and chocolate raisins. That's my little treat. But if I have too many, it starts messing with my joints and I get inflamed joints and my back starts playing up again. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find a way of doing chocolate peanuts and raisins with my sugarless chocolate because I don't have the technology, I don't have the space or the technology to do it. But I can do peanut clusters and I can do blocks of peanut chocolate, like in blocks of it, but not like as individual dipped chocolates and raisins. So when I do my candy corner at the foundation, I'll have all my homemade chocolates and all my sweets and that, and we'll have our naughty and our nice range. The naughty range will be the stuff that has sugar in it. The nice range will be the stuff that doesn't. And a lot of my products are perfectly fine for people with diabetes to have. So another reason why America, because America's are they not like one of the highest countries in the world for diabetes? And people don't want to have to give up sugar. If you can't give up sugar, you have an addiction to it. Sugar is 30 times more addictive than cocaine. And if you can't give up sugar, you're addicted to sugar. It also it causes depression in the brain. It makes you sleepy after you have it, and it inflames your joints. So I've found a way to remove all the negative effects of sugar while still associating the sweet tooth. And like I said, I was 365 pounds. At my heaviest, I was 28 and a half stone. I was a size 6XL in America, or a size 28-30, and now I'm sitting here wearing size 12, which in the UK and New Zealand, that's considered a small to medium. And I haven't been able to get any exercise in almost a year. So, and the weight's still coming off. My stomach is almost flat. The fat just burns off. I have no stretch marks. I only have scars. It just came off without trying. So my supernatural food range, I think, is going to go down a treat in America. Because sugar's the problem, not fat. I have butter, I have cream, I have milk, I have yogurt, I have a high fat, high protein diet. I'm allergic to eggs, so I have to get my dairy, I have to get my protein from dairy. So I have high fat, everything, and high protein. I live on nuts and, chicken um, and the weight is just falling off me. My memory's unbelievable. My memory's getting better and better and better because I coat my brain with the healthy fats. Low fat will kill you. Low fat causes dementia. Dementia. Low cholesterol kills your brain, causes dementia. And so all my foods, they cure you as you eat it. They cure you of illnesses and ailments because I use molecular chemistry in food to create medicine in the food that I make. Alchemy, because I'm an alchemist. So I'm 53. People think I'm in my early 30s. My body is getting tight, and I'm like I said, I've not even been able to exercise. I have no way of getting out and going for walks in the bush and along the beach and all that like I want to. I can't lift anything heavier than a bag of sugar because of the damage that my stomach took from my torture and my surgeries. I can't cycle. The only exercise I'm allowed to have now is swimming and walking, and I don't have access to any walking trails or anything because I don't drive and I don't know anyone that drives. And until I get justice, it's not safe for me to walk around the street anyway. So, because there's a hit out on me. If I'm seen on the street, there's, people have been given orders to run me over. So, yeah. But when I get justice and I get to America and set everything up, and I definitely want to film the first sign in the eastern states of America. So it'll be one of the original 13 states. It's more than likely going to be upstate New York, Massachusetts, kind of Maine, Connecticut, around one of those areas. I'm thinking, like where they did either Practical Magic, which I believe some of it was in Maine, and, like the Martha's Vineyard-y kind of Maine, the provinces around that way, or upstate New York, where they did Sleepy Hollow, where Sleepy Hollow was written, Salem in Massachusetts, those kind of areas. I was even thinking as much, and I mean, if I couldn't do my werewolf movie in Edinburgh, I'd film it in the south. I'm going to be doing my exorcism movie in Tennessee, but I think a werewolf movie might be just the dab in somewhere like Kentucky or Louisiana, where if I couldn't use Edinburgh for it, I'd be using like the bayous and all of that. That would be pretty freaky. So we'll see how it goes, or like New Orleans. So yeah, so I'm just putting it out there. Miss Amber's School of Alchemy is now called the First Sign, the rebirth of the ninth element. Because with the storyline, with Roisin being our version of Harry Potter, she's the ninth element. So there we go. Becoming spellbound has to be made in Ireland. I don't care what anyone says. And if for whatever reason I can't make my werewolf movie in Edinburgh, then I'd be more than happy to do it in the southern states of America. So, but it would be at winter time, not in the summer, because I hate the heat, and I want that spooky kind of. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to give any storylines away. So, right. So I'm going to go. Just think of Left 4 Dead when they do the levels where they're in the bayou when they're in the south. Just think of that, but werewolves instead of zombies. Right, so I'm going to go. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō.